and welcome to one of a few space weather videos today. We'll have an update on a bunch of things. A lot of stuff is going on. An update on whether or not there's an alien spacecraft by the sun. First thing we're looking at is some SDO imagery here of the closest star. That's 335 angstroms. And again, we'll get back to the stuff about the spacecraft or object or whatever. It's not an object. Next, colorized magnetogram. Sunspot's mostly degraded, but a new one formed right here in front of the Earth. Right there. So that's interesting. I think it's already beta class. It looks like it's got a second trailing North Pole field there. We'll have an update in a later video on that with high-res imagery. And here's 94 angstroms. And of course, this is the wavelength that we thought we saw something, but not really anything to be seen, folks. Sorry to everybody who thought you're going to see an extraterrestrial spacecraft. We'll get to that momentarily. Anyway, 94 angstroms is a great view to see solar flares. That's why we were viewing it for an M-class flare. I didn't look too much into it because there were, let's say, lots of other things going on. The radio flux at 116 now. So a little increase in the radio flux there with the formation of that new sunspot. There's a South Pole current sheet coming. We'll make a video about that and the magnetic environment to premiere after this one. Geomagnetic storm conditions forecasted here from NOAA early in the day today. And we're getting hit with some coronal hole wind streams. So it looks like the CME that occurred is expected to miss the Earth. Or maybe a slight glancing blow there? What's up with that? It looks like it's largely a miss. Tends to agree with what we were forecasting when we first covered it. Another video about coronal mass ejections later in the day. Next, earthquakes. South Sandwich Islands now back on the list there. So, of course, the most interesting seismic event clearly was the eruption of a Tongan volcano, originally reported as a 7.6, caused dozens, probably hundreds, if not thousands of tsunamis all around the Pacific Rim. Most were fairly small so far. Let's hope things stay that way. Some looked pretty decent sized, though, folks. And believe me, if you're standing on an island that's like a meter above sea level, a half-meter tsunami is quite significant. There's one of the largest quakes at Vanuatu, a deep quake of 5.3 magnitude. So that volcano, quite interesting. It was a seamount, originally reported as a 7.6. It got downgraded because seismic instruments aren't really used to measure volcanic eruptions. We captured it inadvertently on our water vapor map. A clear shock wave coming out of it. We'll show you in a minute. Let's see what's currently erupting also. You've got Karimsky. And by the way, Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai is now also producing stratospheric level eruptions. We'll get to that. So as you can see, quite a lot of stuff going on. My voice is a little shattered. Suwanose Jima flight level 050. It's producing a 5,000-foot ash plume. Ah, yes. Semeru, located on the Indonesian Isle of East Java, also erupting. Flight level 130. Yasur on Vanuatu, Tanna Island. Flight level 050. Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai still showing up as 52,000. It was a 60,000-foot plume quite recently. And you can see there a 55,000. So, crazy stuff going on. SMAroo flight level 170. I needed to refresh that. There you go, 60,000 foot ash plume at Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai. So I apologize for that. There you go. Shivaluch, flight level 130, Suwanosejima, flight level 050, SMAroo, flight level 170, Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai, flight level 600, a 60,000 foot ash plume. So stratospheric level aerosols and volcanic ash currently coming out of that volcano. And by the way, we noticed it was making its own weather. There was that oceanic explosion that caused all the tsunamis was a phreatic explosion, and it massively changed the water vapor environment. So massive amounts of water got vaporized, and a huge shockwave was heard in Alaska, where also Pavlov is erupting. Nevado de Ruiz, Sangay, and Sabancaya all erupting. Flight level 190 at Nevado de Ruiz, flight level 210 at Sangay. Please do not pole vault the caldera. So here was our coverage yesterday, our meteorology segment. If you look right here, you're going to see the explosion and the shockwave come out of it. We were not expecting to see that. And as you can see, a massive amount of water vapor there. Suddenly, it got very wet. That was because there was a lot of water from the ocean becoming vapor very quickly, completely changing the atmospheric pressure in that area and sending off a pressure shock wave, as you can see. And a nearly instantaneous series of tsunamis. So that was pretty interesting. And now about the quote object, end quote. It's a camera flaw. Shout out to Eugene. Way to instantly debunk it. And here's how you could have debunked it also, folks. I didn't really look into it. So if you see that there, if you head to HelioViewer, and I'll show you some inner workings here, you zoom all the way in. I've got this set up to a 1-day time jump, as you can see here. And if we bring this back, there's the quote object, end quote. And the problem is here, folks, you'll notice this is in the exact same spot on the aperture throughout the entire transmission. So that's an indication that it isn't moving with the sun. It would have to be moving very quickly to be moving with the sun. And it's clearly not. It's just in the same location, indicating that it is indeed a camera flaw. So sorry to everybody who wanted to see an object or an extraterrestrial spacecraft there. It's just not. It's some problem with the camera. I won't try to conjecture too much. But you've got to debunk where you can debunk, folks. So welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Please support us via our homepage. Perhaps pick up some merch. You can find a link on the homepage to that. I think we're going to have to recommend the the comforter and duvet cover with the Galactic Federation Special Forces. Yeah, the Galactic Federation Special Forces, folks. Anyway, the motto is Universum Liberate. Since all entities yearn to be free, Universum Liberate is the motto of our unit, our squadron, if you will. So perhaps pick up some merch. All proceeds go to the Galactic Federation Special Forces. Anyway, there's the graphic. Perhaps get the acrylic block. And or join the Smash team. So if you'd like additional information, it's kind of like Patreon, only better. We replaced Patreon with a bit of a superior website, our own, smashomash.com/smashteam. Thanks for tuning into the Daily Space Weather. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. And may that solar wind be at your back.